Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. The only way to understand attractive women, the really only way, I'm gonna say the only way, you gotta get to know them. It's that simple. Seriously, you got to get to know them because here's a reality. And when I'm talking about attractive women, the women considered dimes, tens, 8 to 10 range, shoot, even 7 to 10 range. Let's say above average. They're attractive, they sexy, all of that. A lot of men simply don't understand them for one simple reason. For many men, they're out of reach. They're these goddesses. They're these icons. You know, men are putting them on a pedestal. And it's a situation where the men aren't really getting to know them, but they are listening to maybe content creators or even their own biases, allowing their own biases to get in there and say, well, the woman is this, the woman is that. You know, guys will say, well, I ain't gonna mess with that dime because she got a high body count. Do you know that particular dime has a high body count? I mean, do you know? You're assuming. See, a lot of times men make assumptions. They'll meet a very beautiful woman and assume she's an airhead. Meet a very beautiful woman and assume that she's been with all of these men. You know, they'll meet a very beautiful woman and assume that she will reject him. And then, of course, they don't try all those situations. They'll say, well, I ain't gonna talk to her anyway. She's been with 100 men. I ain't gonna talk to her anyway because she's not intelligent enough. I'm not gonna talk to her. She's just gonna reject me anyway. Or she's so gorgeous, you know, they feel like, well, I ain't good enough for her or something. You don't know anything. You don't know, you're assuming. To know something means you directly experienced it. Do you know she gonna reject you? That one particular woman, do you know? Like how many, like some guys say, well, she'll reject. How many beautiful women have you even talked to be rejected? Let's keep it real. Most guys have been, if they've been rejected, most have been rejected by more average looking women. Or maybe just slightly above women. But when we're talking about attractive women, how many have you actually met or seen in person? And then how many have you actually been friends with or talked to them? You know? And then let alone had sex with a very attractive woman that you didn't have to pay for. You don't know. So you making an assumption. You don't know. You might have everything that woman wants. And don't listen to everybody else. Because I remember when I was younger, guys would say, well, they wouldn't talk to you. I told you that situation at my college. I'd never forget it. That was one of my best lessons. I told you that situation. We in the cafeteria with the fellas, checking out women coming out of the cafeteria, you know, with some food and stuff. And this one young lady, you know, the guys were going crazy. Like, oh man, she is so hot. She's this and that. And I was like, oh yeah, I know her. And the guys were like, there's another situation with that. But anyway, with this one, the guys were like, oh no, she would never talk to you. Oh no, you ain't good enough for her and all of that. And I was like, okay. But they didn't know that this same young lady helped me. She volunteered to help me take my luggage into my dorm. Because after like freshman orientation and stuff, I didn't go back home. So I had to stay in the dorm for a couple of days. She helped me. She carried one of my bags to my room. And then we had a class together. And then there was another instance, same college, couple years later, everybody was checking out this one young lady. Oh, she gorgeous, she gorgeous. And then they got pissed off when she would always come sit with me. She would voluntarily come sit with me. And that was one of my greatest friends in college, life really, like a true friend. But see, the thing is, I talked to them, I knew them. And of course hooked up with some. Some I was cool with as friends, some I hooked up with. One of the things I found with very attractive women is once guys get past the pedestal image, the goddess image, man, they fart like everybody else. Or let me say it the DC way, they fight like everybody else. Once you get past all that, they cool people, they got interest. You know, they checking out comics. It was a very beautiful woman who she had been like a low-level actress. She'd been in a few things back in the day, and still attractive. She's in her 50s now, and so is still very attractive. Very attractive. Look like she, in her 50s, don't look like she hit that wall. One of those few women didn't hit the wall and stuff. She the one who was like, she turned me on to the X-Files, and she was into the science fiction, UFOs and everything. No, another one, she could tell you how to hack something. She could tell you how to hack something. I've talked about this several times, but I still see the same thing, you know? I got a cousin who many men consider very attractive. She in her 50s still look like she in her 30s. She can take a computer apart and put it back together and make it work better. It's like, here's the thing. Understand that, okay, they got those great genetics, but they still people. It's that simple. They still people. They got fears, they got insecurities, got things they feel good about, they got things that they like. You know, another instance back at St. Joe. See, I learned a lot just right there. Very attractive woman. I mean, they were trying to get her to be a cheerleader. Very attractive and stuff. I come back to my room. She's sitting on my bed reading my comic books. Like sitting there chilling. They like different things, y'all. And even the ones I've been out with. Shoot, they could be religious. I never forget going out with one. Me and her like social media friends, Facebook and IG. And she's doing some acting now. Be acting in some commercials and all of that. And still doing a little bit of modeling, like print advertising. You know, went out with her when she was, it was like still young, when she's still in high school. Oh, shoot. Until I said that prayer, she wouldn't eat that pizza I bought. You know, religious. I remember another one. She was from Argentina, and she would, man, we could have like some serious political discussions. You know, remember talking with a beautiful Lebanese woman. She telling me about, you know, oh yeah, it's normal. You're in the classroom and bullets in the wall and everything. It's like, look, here's the thing, and I talked about this in my book, Meeting Attractive Women. They got personalities. Once you take them off the pedestal, okay, they look good. You find them attractive. Don't put them on a pedestal. They're human. They're human. In fact, I mentioned one went out a few times, and she had placed in a beauty pageant in the DC area back in the day. And I gotta be careful what I say about her. She's an attorney. But she actually said to me, you know, Rom, I like that you just talk to me normal. I ain't put on that pedestal, oh, how great. You know, I remember another young lady, very attractive, working at one of the gyms. This dude who I happen to know actually followed her into the gym, and she had that on a normal basis. Normal basis, guys will follow her out. Like, this is like early 2000s. Like late 90s, early 2000s, around that time. If IG was around, she would have over 100,000 followers. She might actually do. Now, I can't think of her name though. But she worked there. Guys would be following her down the street and everything. I had to run interference. But if they talked to her, she was just real cool. Look, just talk to them, get to know them. You know, and plus, that's some good game. They will pay attention to that, regardless of what you look like, as long as you got decent presentation, you know? Because so many guys don't do it. So many guys act scared, or when they do talk, they be doing also a bunch of corny stuff. You talk to them like hey, how you doing? You know, maybe make a comment about something she's wearing or something, or she wearing a t-shirt with a message on. Just talk to them. It's very easy. Hell, depending on where you at, they might approach you. Because I told the story too, when I was wearing a Giyanyami pendant around my neck, I'm at a relationship expo. I'll roll out of bed, dime, serious dime. She approached me, said, hey, what's that? It was just cool. You know? You treat them like they're people. That's it. Talk to them. You know, you don't have to try to get with every talk to them. And here's a beauty, here's something else too. Something else that worked for me. If you get cool with one, they usually hang out with other attractive women. They start setting you up with their buddies. But it all starts with getting to know them and treating them like they're people. All right? So anyway, that's it for this one. and get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.